into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
The music? Kind of? Can you hear the music? You can't hear the music.
I can't hear the music.
Because
But I can see the music. But I can see the music.
Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to another edition of Spotlight On here at AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Alison Dean.
Alrighty.
And today we are joined by an actor. Who, in the span of 2 short years, has already taken on the role of Jesus. And, most recently, he has taken on simply the man.
The man.
Hola y benvindo, Diogo Morgado.
Woo! There you go. Portuguese and olá e bem-vindo. Very good.
Do you
Very
like
good.
that?
I was actually in heaven.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's good that I've transported you to heaven.
You transported me to heaven in 5 seconds.
Woo, okay.
I was blown away by that introduction. It was by far the best introduction I've had since I was born.
Oh.
Okay.
Can we take that soundbite? I think I need that in my reel. That's very good.
You.
Okay.
High five on that. Thank
good.
you so much. Thank you for having me.
So welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to kick things off. There's lots to cover. I've gotten many tweets from all of your amazing fans. So I will answer. I've taken some of those questions. I couldn't get to all of you because there's many of you.
Well, that's not true. There's just 5.
No, there's
so I
many.
don't know why you're telling me.
Don't you lie to me.
Okay.
So, quick fire round of questions.
All right, cool.
Ready? You just answer with the first thing that pops into your brain.
And I have to speak to the B, right?
Speak to the B.
Come on, B.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Least favorite food?
Pizza.
Really?
Yeah, because I shouldn't eat.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Oh, Captain America or Batman?
Captain America.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Favorite place to travel?
South America.
Okay,
Yeah.
favorite book?
Favorite book? I don't know in English. Insustentável Visa do Ser.
That
Milan
works.
Kundera. Okay, whatever.
That's fine.
Google it.
Yeah, Google that one.
Google that
See
one.
if you can spell it first.
Insustentável Visa do Ser.
Ooh, it sounds very good though. I have to say.
Insustentável Visa do Ser.
I feel like you should actually. Sorry, I'm gonna pause for a moment. You
Okay.
should
Whatever.
do
Voiceover?
audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
Yeah. you should do
Actually,
some
I have to think about it.
Okay, there you go.
I have to think
Just-
about it. It
I
takes
always
a
like
lot
to
of
do-
time to read books, right? Like,
or recite. Well, if you get
Recite the
paid to
books.
do the book, then maybe.
well, it still takes a lot of time.
That's true. It could be fun though. All right. Back to the questions. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Teleport.
Nice.
Yeah.
A historical figure you'd like to have coffee with?
Christopher Columbus.
Knight? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo. Michelangelo. I was like, who's eating pizza? Michelangelo. Okay.
What was the last TV show you binged? Think of Netflix. I don't know.
Nah.
Nothing? You haven't binged anything in a while?
Nah.
All
The
right.
String?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that counts.
Okay.
That's a show.
Okay.
I'm
It is.
obsessed
I have
with
mixed
it.
feelings about that. So
Oh.
it's like, I started like really enjoying it, and then I was like, this is getting messy.
Wait, what season are you on though?
Second.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
I mean,
All right.
towards the end of
All
the
right.
first was like, this is messy.
Right. Oh, it is
Guillermo, less.
messy. Less Guillermo.
Less
Just
Guillermo.
a little less,
Less.
Guillermo. Okay. Favorite song on the radio right now?
Oh, that's tricky.
It can be whatever radio.
Whatever.
What
Which-
song are you like beep-bopping to in the car?
Oh gosh, no, no.
There's
I don't,
no song.
There's a couple of ones, but I don't.
I think you
like,
should recite that name of your favorite book, and it sounds like a song. So just say that again.
Insustentável Visa
Yeah,
do
perfect.
Ser.
Great. That works for me. That totally works for me.
Insustentável
Okay.
Visa do Ser.
Okay.
This
See?
was probably the worst moment ever. I did not even know how to Classify it.
Favorite movie?
Favorite Forrest Gump.
Oh, last film you saw in the theater.
Last what?
The last movie you saw in the movie theater.
That was what was it? What was it? I told you. What was it? It was Ant-Man.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
What do you mean? I saw something in there. What was that? That was Judgment.
Alexis, did
That
you
was
see Ant-Man?
Judgment.
I have not
Allison.
seen Ant-Man
But
yet.
it's on her list.
It is on my list.
No, don't try to run away from the Judgment face that she just put on, Alexis. Okay.
I think I did see a trailer for it.
You were like, you did this. Like what?
Well, it's
okay.
not Captain America.
What? You saw that was
It's
the last
not-
movie?
No, that's not the last movie. But I'm like, it's
Gosh.
not Captain America. Who played Ant-Man?
Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd.
Oh.
What?
What?
Get out of here.
Are you living in a cave right now?
Thor. I want Thor back. Like, I need
No,
Thor
you don't
part.
want Thor.
Sure.
You
Yes,
want
I
the,
do.
Yeah, you should.
All
You
right.
want the guy to play
But no,
Thor.
it's not enough about me. Name an American actor that you would love to work with on a Portuguese project. So, any American actor that you could pull into.
Meryl Streep.
Oh,
Oh
right.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
she's
a-
so good that it irritates. It just
I know, it
pisses
irritates
me
many
off how
people.
good she is.
It's true.
Even in bad movies, she's amazing. It's just like, can't you do
Is there-
just something
wait,
wrong?
There's been a bad movie? No, I'm just
What?
kidding. We don't need to talk about that.
I
All
can,
right.
I can tell you what about.
Okay.
I mean, Into the Woods. I don't think it was a great
Oh,
movie.
but that got so many
How
awards.
dare you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
look,
I'm
Alexis,
sorry.
how
I
dare
think
you.
it's just probably one of the
dear.
messiest movies I've been. But she was. I'm sorry.
Wrath.
I'm sorry. I
The
probably
Wrath.
will never be hired again.
It's
right?
true. No, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, these are bonus questions, care of Lisha Plata. So, quick questions. Favorite holiday?
New Year Eve.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
A little confetti. Okay.
Yeah, I
Another
like-
language you'd like to learn?
Mandarin.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
yeah, well,
Okay.
I love
wow.
your reactions. Not, from now on, I'm
That
just
is
going to say
impressive.
random stuff just to get your reactions out of it. I'm just going to say blue. And I'm like, wow. Let's see how she reacts to it.
Favorite candy bar?
A wall. No, I was just trying to get a reaction out of you. I'm sorry. Favorite candy bar? Marshmallow.
That's not a candy bar, is it? A marshmallow?
No, it's not candy bar. True. What would be
Like
a
a
candy bar
chocolate.
here?
A thing you can buy in like the store.
Okay, I mean,
Like when you're checking out. Twix, her,
do you guys still have
Hershey's,
like
Kit
the-
Kat.
Kit Kat bar, Three
Kit Kat
Musketeers.
is really,
Kit Kat?
really Kit Kat is pretty
Like
classic.
when you're
so.
at craft services and there's like a ton
No,
of
babe, I'm 35 now. Okay,
Craft services.
That was the
Lies.
time when I was 25.
Lies.
Okay?
He's lying.
Let's
He's
just
lying.
get a bunch of them.
35.
Yeah.
Lies.
I know, right?
You look
Okay.
way younger than
Oh,
that.
you're so sweet.
Favorite
true.
comedian?
Favorite comedian. I'm a fan of that Louis C.K.
Oh, I love him. Okay.
I think he's he's cool.
You've successfully completed your quick
That-
fire.
that's it?
That's the quick
I only
fire.
got 3 like really
Well,
cool.
Lo and behold, this is just the beginning of the interview. So I'm sure you will get many more reactions out of this one. All right.
Okay.
So you've been an actor since the age of 15, but you've
Yep.
mentioned that it took a while before you realized it was the profession for you. So what happened?
Like 10 years almost.
Okay, so what happened to solidify that? Like, what was the turning point?
I think to be completely honest with you, I think I have such a high respect for this job because I think I don't want to sound like philosophical, but it's probably the closest thing you have from magic, from pure magic. When I say this, is like the ability of you to use words and project images or feelings and touch people's hearts or irritate them or whatever. I think it's the closest thing you can have from magic, like pure magic. So I think for a long I was just like, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have what it needs to be, to work with this
Right.
art. So I think after 10 years I was like, so what else can you do besides being an actor? And I would start
Eat candy
thinking
bars.
and thinking. I was
Oh.
like, maybe I can't even, probably not. But I was like, well, I probably write or I don't know, direct. But everything I was thinking of, I was like, I'm already in the
Yeah.
doing what I need to be doing.
Right.
And I just got invested with my body and soul in everything I am, and it's definitely the biggest passion of my life.
Okay, good. I like that. I accept that as the
winning
answer. That is
well,
good.
that was just the
That's
first
good.
one. What are you talking about?
I felt like he was asking me the question. All right. In 2009.
This is so cool. I'm talking with the bee.
You're talking with the
You're talking with your bee.
I know.
And with two bees. No,
We should
two
have-
flowers.
we should-
Wait a minute. Something
Wait a
cooking.
minute. Yikes.
There's bees and two flowers.
I think we're starring in his next short film, Alexis. I
Yeah.
think that's
I'm
what's happening.
so down.
It's going to be called Those Two Bees.
Those two bees. That's so cool.
Those two
Bees and the
bees.
flowers.
Two
guys.
All
bees.
right. 2009, you played Hugo Pereira in the bilingual film Star-Crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do another bilingual film?
I do. I think. I mean, I enjoy doing everything, anything that might cross with different cultures and languages and experiences. Like I know. I told you I would love to know how to speak Mandarin. Mm-hmm. I really do. I mean, if I had got a movie like with a different foreign language, it's something that I think it's so challenging to try to do whatever you think you can do in a different language. It's the only thing you can get out of that is improvement. It's that hopefully you're gonna get better in what you do, or at least the range of understanding of what you do gets more specific and more interesting.
What just popped into my brain was whether or not there's a Mandarin Portuguese film out there. You should make the first one,
I strongly
Diogo.
doubt. But probably I'll be the first one. The Portuguese
I think
ninja.
that sounds cool. I don't know. It sounds.
Yeah.
I would watch it as long as there were subtitles.
The last Portuguese ninja.
The
what
last
about
Portuguese
that?
ninja.
You would watch a movie like
shut
with
up,
this
shut
title.
up and take my money. I would give. Yeah,
Oh,
I'd watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Give me
She's in.
$50 and let's do it.
Let's do
We'll
it.
both be there on opening night. I think it sounds great.
I will camp out for like 5 days and just watch it.
We have a saga right here.
That's a
Trilogy.
slugger, all
Let's
right.
just make it 3 of them.
Sure.
I feel like we're coming up with many ideas right now.
Oh
This is
yeah.
just,
I'm
we
gonna
should
write
be-
them
And
all
this is
down.
at the first 10
Good
minutes.
thing we're
probably.
live streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
On the Today Show, you
We
said
can't take it back now.
No,
it's
on the
too
internet
late.
forever.
I really get excited with live because I feel that if anything I can do, it will stay forever. Like for instance, if I just leave,
No, don't do it. No, don't do it.
or even like this, like the guys, like, the cameras will be like, "Where's the guy? He just wore those walking pants over there. What is that?" People
this is a
or the
first.
people that just tune in. It was
It's
like,
good.
I just
they're-
wanted to,
are they all
put it out
drunk?
there that Tari is on the chat, just to throw it out there that he sends
Tori,
his
oh,
love.
oh,
yes,
hi,
our
Tori.
other- Yes, and
Hi.
he said,
I wish you were here.
You guys are doing great as I'm doing great as the other flower. Just to throw it out there.
he can be
There
our
you go.
third flower. So
Yeah.
now it's going to be those 3 flowers.
Or
Those
he
3
can be
flowers.
the beekeeper.
Wow, we were just
There you go.
making so much.
There you go.
Oh,
Awesome.
snap.
I love every
Alright.
minute of this.
All right.
Anyway.
On the Today Show, you said playing Jesus was a life-changing experience,
Yes.
which makes sense.
Yes.
What things in your life were affected?
I think my perspective. I think like probably the best thing we take out of this job is actually our perspective of the world, because there's a lot of things that if I wasn't an actor, I would just be living my life, and seeing everything through my perspective. And I think the fact that I have to, be someone else on a show or a movie, it pushes me to see things in a different angle. So I mean, definitely playing Jesus was like I had to see the perspective of love and the world, and the questions like God and Jesus and what we believe in and our guidelines in life has to be. They were questioned and they were challenged, and I had to come up with my definitive truth in order to. Every frame that I would be performing would be the absolute truth, at least for me.
Well, I think that's good. Like the perspective. I think that's something that in everyone's lives, it's like you need to always, especially living in LA, I'd say, it's very good to always travel and kind of get a good perspective on how other people live, right? Because LA is one of those strange bubbles sometimes where
Completely. I mean, I'm not gonna say the obvious. Obviously, there's a lot of people struggling in life and with struggling with difficulties. But let's say just like I did a movie in the Amazon jungle called The Jungle. Don't laugh about it, because it was Ferreira de Castro, one of the most read books ever. Like I don't know, at least 20 languages.
I need to watch it.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
It's called The Jungle. You guys, if you guys are watching, you can Google on obviously on Google. You can Google it out.
Google on Google.
You try that. Try to Google on Google. It's really mind-blowing. Okay. But you can watch the trailer of The Jungle or The Celeb. Anyway, I was trying to say, I remember that one time we were on our way to set, and I watched, and there was like the Amazon River, and I saw like a house and on the water with cows, like almost like like just with the head out of the water, and I could look into the house, and it was like a small TV. So they were living there, and like they were not poor in terms of the food is at the reach of the hand, because that it's not about poverty, it's about the way of living life. And it's just imagine a year living in this with them,
with nature.
How how much of your perspective of the world can change. It's really interesting. It's amazing.
I like it.
You like it.
How did you prepare for the Bible? Did you watch any of the other films that have come before?
Yeah, I started out by preparing as a normal role, because obviously out of fear, I was like, how am I going to be able to do this?
Right.
But soon enough, I realized that there would be no book or anything that would help me out besides trying to get to the ultimate truth of what I believe, because ultimately it would be me performing it, and I also tried as much as I could, because everything that I watched about Jesus and the figure of Jesus, it was always about the perspective of what he said and the miracles, and I was like, whoa, I don't believe that's about that. I believe I think we tend to forget about the wider message, and the wider message was definitely the altruism of love and the compassion that we need to have towards each other. So what I did was I bet everything I had and what I believed, and every time I was not speaking, every time I was even, the way that Jesus would interact with children, or the way that they will look at people, he will look at people, the way that he will touch people, like physically touched, because another thing that I kind of didn't like of other versions was like that Jesus was always like unreachable.
Got it.
He was like always above, and he would look at you and know exactly who you are and what you did. And I think that's what the Bible said. He came in the human form. He was the Son of God, and he lived among us like us. So it wouldn't be fair if he would be playing
something that was unreachable
in an unreachable way.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense to me.
It makes sense to you. Are you happy with that?
I think that's fantastic.
Okay, cool.
Your press tour.
Are you happy, B?
What about you, Alexis?
Alexis?
What?
Yeah. She's
what?
like she's manning the chat.
I'm trying to do things here.
Yeah, she's
She's trying to work.
Trying to work.
Your press tour for the Bible
Yes.
included Oprah's next chapter. What was something that surprised you about Oprah?
I was always a fan of Oprah.
Sure.
I always had a feeling that
The untouchable.
it was exactly the opposite of that.
So-
I had a feeling that she was not untouchable.
She was like your version of Jesus.
She was my version of Jesus. Whatever. That sounds so wrong.
She's totally
but
my Jesus.
You actually
I pray to
ended up
Oprah
being
every
kind
day.
of right.
Well, because he said his Jesus was like
No.
tangible.
We got it.
No.
It was like
I got it.
we
I
got it.
understood.
My brain just turned on for
It's
that
just-
moment. It was
if-
like, there she is.
Like the first impact is like it's kind of it sounds weird. But then you listen again and it's like, well, no, that actually makes sense.
Welcome to Alison Dean's world. Yes. All right.
It's a great world to be in.
The first strike is a strong impact, and then that's Alison world.
Okay, so she was super.
No, she was super reachable, and not only that, she was personally curious about stuff. We actually after the interview, she called me out. She was already in her car to go back to the airport because she came to LA for the interview, and so she was going back to Chicago.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And she one of the producers, she just called me out, and I went and I got inside of the car, and she just she just asked me a couple of personal stuff that she didn't ask in an interview.
Got it.
So I could see that she was personally involved with that interview, just like I think she's involved with every stuff that she does.
Yeah. I love Oprah.
Me too.
In 2013, you released your first short film, Break. Why did you laugh? Wait a minute.
I mean, because it was...
You did. It was released. It was
released.
There it was.
Exactly. It's true.
What inspired you to make that film?
I mean, I'm not going to hide. I mean, my ultimate goal, I think, because I do love so much this job and it's not the job that I love. It's the ability of storytelling. It's the fact that we can tell stories and we can touch people, or at least or raise questions or piss them off. That I just love that interaction, of that. So. My goal is to be a filmmaker, to be a director, down the line.
Those two B's and the beekeeper.
The beekeeper, there you go.
Tari has actually said that he is forever.
He endorses this.
Yeah,
The
he's
beekeeper.
forever the beekeeper.
He's going to change his Twitter handle now to
Oh,
the
yeah?
beekeeper.
The beekeeper. The beekeeper. In the world where two flowers were abandoned, there was one man. His name was the beekeeper.
Starring Tari J. Miller. It's just
brought to you by AfterBuzz After Show Week.
Yeah.
That's fine. I accept this.
I accept that challenge.
All right. So, but the inspiration for Break was what? Like, that movie. It was heavy. It was a heavy-ish film.
It was heavy. Yeah. It was. Basically, I'm really fascinated with the gray. You know what I mean?
Okay,
with the gray. All the movies that came out. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for movies to be told and stories to be told. And I think, every time, I mean, if it's pure entertainment, I get it. I get my popcorn and I sit on the chair and just have fun with it. But I know that there's nothing going to come up that is going to make me think.
Right.
Okay. But I do love a lot of the gray, the gray of people,
you said short films are like a snack, and you should never be fully satisfied. That's the gray.
Yeah, it's like it raises, especially Break. I think it raises questions like how much you can spend a lifetime with somebody or someone and you actually not know them.
Oh, there's a lot of movies on that too.
We all have hidden places and hidden secrets and fears and stuff that we don't share it because it's part of who we are. It's not that we are selfish or we don't love somebody enough to share with them. It's just like because it's part of who we are. Otherwise, you will have to tell all of your childhood and everything that happened to you. So it's stuff that it's really hidden inside of you. So I'm always fascinated by events and certain things that take people to extraordinary events. And when I mean extraordinary, they could be good or bad.
Right.
I'm fascinated with some of the criminal minds, like stuff like that, because I truly believe that there's always a reason behind certain things. It might be small, it might be a mustard seed, like Jesus said, that starts by being nothing, for good or for bad, and suddenly grows for the biggest plan of all. So I'm really interested in that. And Break is a story it's a short story online that I directed and wrote it about like someone that lived throughout his life, and he's not ungrateful. So he loves his wife and he loves his life, but the what if ruins everything. What if I didn't went through that door? What if I didn't take that job? What if I didn't got this, whatever that is? And that we're made of choices, and I'm fascinated by those choices.
So I noticed that there was two posters in his room. There was a Sucker Punch poster and there was a Thor poster. Was that your choice, or was there?
It was my choice. Okay. It was my choice because it was like
Sucker Punch.
I love that movie, by the way.
It's a great movie.
I really love that movie. It's like crazy. Go Alexis. Yeah.
I've cosplayed as like people from that movie.
You have? That's a part.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just say, what? You like that movie?
I
was like, yes, I do.
There's a lot of gray area in that movie,
There's
and that was
not
not
in a non-obvious way.
yeah, there was
And
a lot.
I really enjoyed that movie, and so that was why the movie was there. The poster on and Torque is this, one of my favorite Marvel heroes.
So good.
Besides Captain America.
So good. By the way, congrats on your Imagen Award nomination for
Thank
Best
you.
Actor for The Messengers.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about The Messengers.
All right.
The Messenger. Thank you, Alexis.
That show.
crowd
Was that
was
clapping?
wild. It was, yeah.
Thank you. Stop it. Stop it. One at a time. One at a time.
At M Maria MM71. Thank you. That was a challenge. Asks, where did you look for inspiration while preparing for the role of the man?
To be completely honest, I think I never said this before, but I think I...
You heard it here first, everyone.
Yes. I think the inspiration came from all the fears and all the doubts that I was having and that I had while I was preparing Jesus.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like you like kind of...
Why are you
That's
laughing, Alexis?
interesting.
I love when anytime Alison just decides for some reason to just be like, it makes sense.
If we're gonna talk about that, if you really think about it, when you're focusing so much on one character, it's almost like you compartmentalized all of the other, like, the negative stuff, and you were able to call upon that stuff for the messengers. And that's interesting that you were able to reach in there.
Exactly what it was.
That's where my mind is going, Alexis.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's always the other side of the coin. I think what it's interesting about the man is the fact that I never approached him as the devil, and I think he was called the man for a reason. I think the reason that he was called the man was some sort explained on the second season that never happened. But for me, even on if you for those who watched the show on episode 9, there was a line that I was saying that there was the first time that the man was referring himself to being the devil, that I put like a air quote. So like, I'm the devil. So it's like it's part of me not accepting or at least going a little bit further than he was just the devil, because we tend to imagine and see the dark side of humanity as this red cloud or beast called Lucifer or the devil or whatever. And I think actually I think mankind and the dark side of mankind is actually more sinister and more dark and complex and scary sometimes than that little figure might be. We've seen a lot of movies with gore stuff and a lot of blood and beasts, way more scary than whatever we think the devil might be. So I think my focus was to be a figure that would be a vessel for that kind of fear, that kind of sarcasm, that the way that he was pretending to be someone's friend, and then and the audience would see that he was clearly a manipulative guy. So all of those stuff that unfortunately is among us every single day in our jobs, in our families, we see that dark side of humanity was way more interesting for me as an actor to play than just face him as a devil. I'm
trying to think if throughout the season all of the messengers, though, they referred to you as the devil, right?
But never me.
That's okay. Yeah, that's interesting. The choice that was made to do that.
It was like they refer to me as the devil.
Yeah,
they think I'm the devil.
Right?
Am I? Or I don't know.
We'll never know. Season 2.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Man. Gosh, damn it!
I know. I was excited too. Anyway,
dang it!
You just made me really depressed.
I know, right?
Yeah.
About it.
Let's do the ice bucket challenge right now.
Woo! All right, we go.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
At NBT TV Clips, what were your thoughts when you went from playing? Shout out to them, playing Jesus to being the devil. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but I guess maybe your initial thoughts when you realized you were going to be going from your role of Jesus to then
I mean, my first thought was like, wait a minute, I do have the material.
That's funny. Okay.
You know, I was like, I kind of have it, you know, so it's just a question of choosing and play with it.
Yeah.
So, and for me, it was like, you know, it's kind of telling the same story, kind of, you know, it's a different perspective of what you believe in faith and questioning our choices and you know, our morals and our perspective of good and bad and evil or whatever. So that is still appealing to me. It's just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And I think, you know, I think, you know, playing Jesus was pure emotional. So it was like, it was spiritual. I never once thought about, you know, what I was doing physically, you know, in terms of my expressions, of my voice, so the way I was performing. I never 1 second thought what I was doing while I was doing it.
Okay.
With the man is the extreme opposite. Everything had to be
facial
thought.
Expressions, everything.
You know,
yeah.
every you know, tone, everything that I had to say had a meaning.
Yeah, because you switched on some accents with that one too, right? Like
I don't know. Did I?
Well, no, we talked about it
You
for
talked
a little
about
bit.
it, Alexis.
He's gonna give me
I
crap
need
for it
more
because
water.
at first I was like really confused because I was like, I don't know if he's actually speaking his native accent or if he was actually trying to hide it
Taurus
at
was
first.
the one that got it right on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So go back on that review and see what Taurus said.
Tari gets everything.
Tari,
right.
sorry,
Tari gets everything right.
Yeah.
Every single
Tari
time.
is a perpetual winner.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
the beekeeper.
He's
the beekeeper.
So in previous interviews, you said you were drawn to the man because he didn't have any powers. He only had the ability to manipulate situations.
Yeah, I mean, among the messengers, you know, if the story the show was about people getting extraordinary abilities. The fact that the guy that plays the opposite of them
Didn't have any.
Right. It's just, let's do it. That's amazing.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Did you take any
Vitamins?
No. But thank you. Now we know he takes vitamins, everyone. Have you leveraged the art of manipulation now in your everyday life?
No way.
No?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, you get that on the news every single day with the politicians. And,
You can manipulate for good, though.
No, I don't
you can't?
think. No, I don't think. If
What about,
it's
like,
manipulating, it's not for good.
Really? What
No,
about,
it's not.
I
It's
don't
it's
know.
not
I feel
pure.
Like we're gonna have
If
to debate this.
Well, you're gonna lose.
Because there's like manipulation to inspire people to be more
No,
charitable.
that's not being. That's
no,
not being
I don't think
manipulated.
that's how that
No,
works. That's
no.
convincing somebody.
That's convincing.
And then manipulating
Or-
is using something like kind of like not like bribing, but using something bad to
Yeah.
get them to do.
All
what
right,
you
so
want to do.
manipulation is purely bad.
If your argument is pure and good, you don't need to manipulate anything.
Yeah,
Then
you
it's
can
just
convince them.
influence.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
like
fine.
bribing is kind of
All
like
right, I'm glad we all
manipulating.
talked that through. That's very.
I'm glad
very
that
awesome.
you're aware that you might lose
I'm
that.
so glad we talked that through. The devil was in the details, and when you took over Yahoo TV's Instagram account, you mentioned the devil always had on a special accessory.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite?
Actually, it was like I had like a pin, lapel pin. It was like a spider.
Did you know that, Alexis? Did you
I
realize
did,
that?
but I thought
I used
it
it
was
more than once. It was
I
actually
thought-
the only one that I used.
Yeah,
more than
I thought
once.
I couldn't really see it because I was watching it on my computer
But it
screen,
was
but
a
it was
spider.
there. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
don't know what
hoping
that is.
on the
I think
close-ups and
spiders
stuff
are
like that,
good.
you would see
Some
it.
people don't like it. I'm an arachnophobe.
Maybe
so.
a black widow's bad.
What? I don't like it. I don't like them too. That's
I don't
why
like spiders
them
that
as
kill
a-
people, but I like spiders that
I
eat
mean-
other bugs.
Okay, so you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, not all
Yeah.
spiders are bad. All right. Well, okay. So the pin
Ah.
wins.
The pin
The
wins.
winning pin.
Winning
Okay.
pin.
At Lori S. Adams asked, "How did you study or prepare in meeting for the challenge of episode 9? Death becomes her."
Oh well, for me that was tremendous because it was like a turning point for the whole plot of the series, and not only that, it was the first time you would see, you know, the man kind of explaining himself, and not only that, he would be like throughout the whole episode just talking and talking and talking and talking non-stop, just shut. Okay, that was like okay, gosh, I got it. But for me, I to be honest, I did a lot of stage theater. Actually, that was like my my workshop as an actor, if you might say, my lab. Everything that I know was I got it from the stage theater. So I face it as a stage play. Because it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yep.
And you have to kind of wrap it up, and you have to keep the momentum, and it's like a roller coaster. You can't be just one note or flat. So for me, it was really everything was pointed out, and everything was had an intention to it. So I used a lot of the sarcasm of the man. But there was a certain points to be taken seriously. He would be speaking like the absolute truth, like towards the end of the episode when he says something like, you need to understand this. I am telling you the truth. He's being like with no sarcasm. He's like, this is it. It's like what I'm telling you. It's the truth.
Right.
So that episode, I
was like, just believe him.
Just that.
No, it was.
I was like, I don't think that's what you said.
What did I say?
I don't remember.
Anyway, but to answer, I don't want to know what you guys said, but or maybe I do. But so answering the question, I faced it as a stage theater play.
I like it. That's cool.
Never mind. I retract.
What did I say?
We all said that this was the most charming episode of him.
Right?
So, yeah, we all agreed.
Did Tari just remind us? Thank you, Tari, for reminding us. Tari is on it.
Tari,
the beekeeper.
Just spoken from the mountain of wisdom.
So, moving into episode 10, at Soy La Sultana asks, while resurrecting Josh, you were speaking an unknown language.
Yeah.
Yes, this was my question.
Do you know what you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Basically, I was calling different beasts and monsters throughout different mythologies. In Latin and different languages.
I called it! I called it.
He said Latin and different
Whatever.
languages.
I still said Latin.
Other
I threw it
languages.
in there.
I'm sorry, other
I threw it in
languages.
there.
All right, so
Called
you were pretty much there, Alexis. Yeah. How did you feel about the ending? Because I thought you should have fought back a little bit more against the horsemen.
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
I do agree with you.
I was like, what the hell is he doing underneath
Yeah,
that?
just
What
shove
was
him
he
into the
under?
truck.
Yeah.
Just shove him into the truck.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What, literally, what the
What
hell?
the hell?
Yes. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You weren't like, can I have words with you, writer?
Yeah,
We need to talk about this. The devil would not be underneath a car, or what were you under?
Yeah,
a train
truck.
vehicle?
It was a truck.
Oh, a trailer?
It was
truck.
a truck.
I thought it was like,
It was not even a tank or something
right.
like really cool.
Put him
It was
under a
just
Hummer. I mean,
It was
like,
just like commercial truck. Wow. Anyway.
okay,
yeah.
so we were both sad about that.
We're both. Yeah, we are.
Was that the most funny thing that happened on set
No
for you?
way.
No. Okay, what was the
No.
most funny thing that happened?
No,
on set?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
No, that was not even funny. It was just like, I mean, we have to respect the writers
story.
and the creators
sure.
of the show. They have, the long term of
Vision.
whatever.
We didn't get
and
the
the vision,
season 2.
we were all hoping for the second season. I can tell you guys that it was a lot of really nice and cool things lined up for the man on the second season. I don't want to ruin it by saying anything more, but it was planned out. So it was
deliberate.
It was deliberate.
Yeah.
There was a reason for me to be underplayed on the last couple of episodes.
Okay, but seriously, what was the funniest thing that happened on set?
The
Most funny
funniest. I don't know. I mean,
The most funny thing
while
that
shooting
happened
it
on
or off like backstage
Whatever.
stuff, whatever.
What's the first thing that pops in your
I don't-
brain? Where you like literally were having a laugh attack?
Laugh attack. I laugh a lot.
Okay, like a fall on the floor laughing.
No
falling on the floor.
No
No.
falling on the floor.
Not even with Craig Frank around.
Not even with Craig. I love Craig, by the way. I love the rest of the whole cast, but Craig was one of the funniest guys on set. And you guys had it here.
Yeah.
Right? You had him here. Mm-hmm. Anyway, no, I can't remember.
All right.
Like a specific thing.
At _Shining Star asks, what were your top 3 favorite scenes of the man?
Of the man?
Yeah.
I would have to say that on episode, I think it was episode 2, with the chess scene where I was playing chess with a veteran.
God, I hated that
A
episode.
military veteran. That was really cool because I mean I think it was the first scene that I actually got what I wanted to do with him.
Got it.
Because he was playing, he was going to going to be a player. He was, playing that chessboard was going to be his game.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was, throughout the scene with the guy, once he gets what he wants from the guy, he kind of gets this moment of companionship, and then the guy just pisses him off, and know what? I'm going to kill you. And it's like, I think it's one of the scenes that actually show you a range of, and it's a beautiful showcase of my character, I think.
Okay, well, any other scenes popping in your brain?
Throughout episode 9, episode 9 was...
You're like all of episode 9,
not all of them, but there were a lot of interesting pieces. The bit that the man is talking about God, I think it's really interesting. And,
that was a cool one.
And the thing, because there's a sense, there's still a sense of respect, and he is his father, kind of,
Yeah.
And I think there's a feeling of weird dysfunctional family there.
Oh, totally.
That people could kind of relate to.
Sure.
If I might say that. I hope people will understand what I'm saying. But I think it's really cool.
At Phalinx asked, do you know if we're going to see any behind the scenes making of The Messengers? Have you heard anything about it?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we're going to have to tweet Owen or Trey or someone. Tweet those guys.
Pull your strings.
How about that? Next Valentine's Day, we're going to see you playing a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeehaw! In the TV movie Love Finds You in Valentine. What can you tell us about this project?
There will be no yeehaw.
Oh, okay.
No, what can I tell you? I think I wanted to play, especially after the Messengers. I wanted to play the love again. I want to play with human good, like the good feelings of it. Leave the dark side behind.
Yeah.
No manipulation, and just get down to earth and just play the grounded person. And this was perfect. I mean, for me, it was. Derek Starlin is my character, and he's a guy that he has a tribulated past, and he ended up grabbing something, and which is a ranch, and the way that he takes care of his mom helps him to forget his past. So I think I love that, the old scarred guy, the guy that had like the wounds of the past and stuff like that. I love that. And there's like this city girl that just comes along, and
it's always that city girl.
Yeah, and he thinks that she's just silly, and
he thinks she's the bee's knees.
Yeah, the bee's knees.
Stop.
But then you go, and then again, it's a love story, so they fall in love, and
Valentine's Day, 2016, Valentine's Day. Did you keep the cowboy boots from that movie?
I did, the cowboy boots and the hat.
Oh, good. Okay,
yeah.
So we're gonna see you sporting that in, I don't know, at the Grove or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why not? Yeah,
okay.
maybe.
Why not? What's your dream project to make as an actor or as a director? It could be as a short or as a full-length feature. I mean, is there like one thing that you really it's like on the agenda?
There's a lot. There are certain
besides the beekeeper
issues. The beekeeper, besides the beekeeper, there are certain issues that, as a person, I struggle with, understanding, and all of them are fascinated to me as an actor to be exploring them. Mm-hmm. I think everything that affects like people's lives, like let's say like a drug addict. Okay, for instance, normally every time we see it on screen, we tend to follow his life, mm-hmm. But we tend to forget about his family life. And I think every time that somebody has something, I would love to see a story about the family and how that affects the family more than actually the main reason of whatever. I really would love to see something like that. Like a story about a family that got affected by whatever.
And do you think you see yourself more as the actor in that kind of a film, or do you want to make that kind of a film?
No, as an actor too. Okay. As an actor too. I mean, I would love to, to tell a story as a director or something like that. And probably that would be my future would be towards that type of stories.
Okay.
But as an actor too, I would be, even if it would be like a small role, I wouldn't mind. Because for me, there's no small roles. It's just like bigger projects and stories. And sometimes I can tell you that I've been involved in projects with a lot of money, and they ended up not being that interesting.
Right.
And sometimes you just get in independent stuff that are really interesting. And I mean, like, and it changed you as an actor, as a person. So you know, it's about the stories. It's not about the business, unfortunately.
Right.
Fortunately.
Or fortunately. So we have to wrap up in a few minutes. So
No, we don't.
I know it's.
No, I'm not gonna leave.
Can we not?
not gonna leave.
What lies ahead for Diogo? Is there anything that you can talk? I mean, no, there's a lot of things that are under wraps right now, so we have to respect that.
Yeah.
But is there any other stuff that you're like, heads up about this, or short films that maybe a brewing, or anything like that?
I mean, right after this, I'm definitely gonna have dinner.
Great.
That's
Good
that's
start.
Like, I'm just.
It's on the agenda.
I was kind of, should I say it? Yes.
Yes, dinner is on the table.
My agent approved. Yeah, but no, I mean, we do have a couple of things lined up. There's a couple of stuff on the table, and we're studying them. And in terms of what would be the best thing, unfortunately, you can't do it all.
No, that's true. There's only one of you.
And sometimes you want to do something that it's not the right thing for you to do, or not the right time.
Right.
So I mean, ultimately what I don't want to feel like I want to come across as, oh yeah, you're full of projects. No, maybe I was talking just one or two, but
But you only can be in one place at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're definitely gonna interesting stuff. We're gonna come.
And you'll
down
keep
the
us all
line.
posted.
I will.
You'll keep us all posted. So now I have to say
Goodbye.
Obrigada.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Obrigada.
Oh,
you actually
obrigada.
got it. Obrigado. I was
like,
just kind of.
Here I thought I failed, and then I was like, no, I was redeemed.
So you basically you got a whole new language just for this.
Well,
interview.
I don't know if I have a whole new language, but I was like,
well,
let's not push it here, Diogo.
Well said.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. You can find Diogo on Twitter at D_Morgado and on Instagram at
Diogo Morgado.
There you go.
There you go.
You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. Feel free to tweet me any questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah.
See your flight attendant for anything else. And we'll see you soon for another Spotlight On.
This
so
was
thanks
fun.
to Diogo.
Thank you guys.
And thanks to Alexis and Tari and
Alexis, Tari, the beekeeper.
The beekeeper.
the bees
Woo!
and
Thank
the
you, Diogo.
flowers. Thank you. This was fun.
You can come back.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do that.
Okay, great. We'll
Awesome.
put it on the agenda.
We will.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.